Could Arne Slot already be facing sack pressure at Liverpool despite Xabi Alonso's decision? Steven Gerrard has now delivered a brutal warning about Liverpool losing its identity, while major doubts continue to grow around Richard Hughes behind the scenes. Plus, Liverpool are pushing towards a €100 million transfer breakthrough. Talks have started for a £70 million superstar, and Federico Chiesa could already be heading for the Anfield exit door. Massive drama, huge transfer updates, and serious questions around Liverpool's future. Stay tuned to Anfield Central for the full story.
Salah's Liverpool broadside leaves Slot exposed as Alonso dream fades. Mohamed Salah has just turned Liverpool's growing tension into a full public debate, and the timing could not be worse for Arne Slot. After Liverpool's damaging 4-2 defeat to Aston Villa, Salah delivered a statement that many fans saw as a direct challenge to the direction of the club under Slot. The Egyptian called for Liverpool to rediscover the heavy metal attacking football that once terrified opponents during the Jurgen Klopp era, and those words have sent shockwaves through Anfield. Salah said, "That is the football I know how to play, and that is the identity that needs to be recovered and kept for good. It cannot be negotiable, and everyone that joins this club should adapt to it." This did not sound like a frustrated player reacting emotionally after one defeat. It sounded like a senior leader openly questioning the identity of the team and indirectly exposing the cracks inside Slot's project. That is what makes this situation so serious. Liverpool's title defence has collapsed in chaotic fashion over recent weeks, and the defeat against Aston Villa only intensified concerns around the team. Unai Emery's side looked sharper, more aggressive and mentally stronger throughout the match, while Liverpool once again appeared vulnerable defensively and uncertain in possession. Suddenly, the optimism surrounding Slot's first season has disappeared. What makes the situation even more uncomfortable for Liverpool supporters is the growing reality that Xabi Alonso may no longer be an option. According to reports, Alonso is now closing in on becoming Chelsea's next permanent manager. For many fans, Alonso represented the dream replacement if Slot failed, a former Liverpool hero returning with elite coaching credentials and a deep emotional connection to the club. But now that possibility appears to be fading quickly. Meanwhile, Salah's message reportedly received support from current Liverpool players, including Andrew Robertson, Dominic Szoboszlai and Ryan Gravenberch. And that detail matters because when dressing rooms begin leaning towards players over managers publicly, pressure escalates very quickly. Slot recently attempted to defend the standards inside the squad after Salah hinted Liverpool could decline once he eventually leaves. The Dutch manager responded by saying, "I think standards are in a good place right now." But performances on the pitch are making that argument harder to defend every week. Liverpool no longer play with the same relentless intensity that defined Klopp's greatest teams. Opponents no longer fear Anfield in the same way, and fans are starting to question whether Slot truly understands the emotional identity of the football club. At the same time, Salah's own form has also dipped compared to the extraordinary standards he previously set, so this situation is not entirely one-sided. But when a player with 257 Liverpool goals, a Premier League title and a Champions League trophy speaks publicly, supporters listen carefully. Now Slot enters a massive summer under enormous pressure. He must rebuild confidence, improve performances, and convince supporters he is still the right man to lead Liverpool forward, especially with the Alonso dream slipping away. So, Liverpool fans, who do you agree with here, Mohamed Salah or Arne Slot? And do you still believe Slot can restore Liverpool's identity next season? Let us know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe and turn on notifications for all the latest Liverpool news from Anfield Central.
Steven Gerrard voices damning Liverpool theory after Mohamed Salah statement. Liverpool's identity crisis is suddenly becoming impossible to ignore, and now Steven Gerrard has added fuel to the growing debate surrounding Arne Slot's struggling side. The conversation exploded after Mohamed Salah's emotional statement following Liverpool's painful 4-2 defeat against Aston Villa. Salah called for Liverpool to return to the heavy metal football that once terrified opponents under Jurgen Klopp. And according to many supporters, Gerrard appears to agree.
The former Liverpool captain reportedly believes the club has drifted away from the aggressive, fearless identity that made Klopp's team one of Europe's most dominant sides. For many fans, that criticism feels painfully accurate after Liverpool's recent performances. Against Aston Villa, Liverpool looked second best physically, tactically and emotionally. Unai Emery's side controlled huge parts of the game, while Liverpool once again appeared vulnerable defensively and lacked intensity in key moments. That defeat only increased the pressure on Arne Slot. Salah's comments then pushed the situation into a completely different spotlight. The Egyptian forward wrote, "That is the football I know how to play, and that is the identity that needs to be recovered and kept for good." It was a statement that sounded far bigger than simple post-match frustration. Instead, many inside and outside the club viewed it as a direct message about Liverpool's direction under Slot. Reports also suggested current players, including Andrew Robertson, Dominic Szoboszlai and Ryan Gravenberch, publicly appreciated Salah's message online, adding even more attention to the growing tension. And this is where Gerrard's view becomes significant. When one of Liverpool's greatest ever captains questions the team's identity, supporters listen carefully. Gerrard understands the emotional standards attached to the football club, and many fans now fear Liverpool are slowly losing the personality that defined the Klopp era. The biggest issue for Slot is that results are no longer protecting the project. Liverpool look uncertain in possession, exposed defensively, and far less intimidating than previous years. The relentless pressing, aggression, and emotional intensity supporters connected with under Klopp simply has not appeared consistently enough this season. At the same time, Slot still has backing internally, and Liverpool's hierarchy reportedly believe the squad can recover with the right summer rebuild. But the atmosphere around the club is clearly becoming more uncomfortable with every disappointing performance. Meanwhile, Fabrizio Romano recently reported that Liverpool are still planning important changes during the upcoming transfer window, with multiple positions expected to be strengthened this summer. Now the pressure is firmly on Slot to prove he can restore belief before frustration fully takes over at Anfield. So, Liverpool fans, do you agree with Steven Gerrard and Mohamed Salah? Has Liverpool lost its identity under Arne Slot, or does the manager simply need more time? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe and turn on notifications for all the latest Liverpool news from Anfield Central.
Richard Hughes has been a disaster for Liverpool Football Club. Liverpool's problems this season are no longer just about performances on the pitch. Increasingly, attention is turning toward the man helping shape the club behind the scenes, sporting director Richard Hughes. What was supposed to be a new era at Anfield under Hughes and Arne Slot has instead become a season filled with growing frustration, failed transfer plans, and serious questions about the club's direction. And now, criticism of Hughes is becoming impossible to ignore. When Hughes arrived from Bournemouth, Liverpool hoped they had secured one of the smartest recruitment figures in English football. His reputation for building competitive squads on limited budget made him an attractive appointment after Jörg Schmadtke's departure. But nearly a full season later, many supporters feel Liverpool's recruitment strategy has completely stalled. One of the biggest frustrations has been Liverpool's inability to strengthen key areas despite obvious weaknesses inside the squad. Defensive problems, midfield inconsistency and depth concerns have repeatedly hurt the team throughout the campaign, yet Liverpool failed to make enough impactful additions when the opportunities were there. Supporters also expected Hughes to play a major role in helping Liverpool transition smoothly after Jurgen Klopp's departure. Instead, the club has looked uncertain both on and off the pitch, while pressure continues to grow around Arne Slot. That pressure only intensified after Liverpool's damaging defeat against Aston Villa, a result that once again exposed defensive vulnerabilities and a lack of intensity inside the squad.
At the same time, transfer targets linked with Liverpool have either moved elsewhere or become increasingly complicated deals. Reports surrounding Martin Zubimendi, Xabi Alonso's future and several defensive targets have only added to fan frustration over the club's planning. Meanwhile, Fabrizio Romano has repeatedly stated that Liverpool are expected to be active during the upcoming summer window, with internal discussions already underway over multiple positions that need strengthening. But for many supporters, the concern is simple: can Hughes actually deliver the rebuild Liverpool need? That question is becoming louder because expectations at Liverpool are completely different from Bournemouth. At Anfield, recruitment decisions are judged at the highest possible level, especially during one of the most important transitions in the club's modern history. Critics also argue Liverpool have lacked urgency in the market. Rivals continue moving aggressively for top targets, while Liverpool often appear reactive rather than decisive. And when results begin collapsing on the pitch, attention naturally shifts toward the executives responsible for building the squad. Of course, Hughes is not solely responsible for Liverpool's struggles. Arne Slot, the coaching staff and several senior players must also share responsibility for the disappointing performances this season. But football fans rarely separate recruitment failures from results. Now, this upcoming summer window could define Richard Hughes' entire Liverpool project. Major signings, smart decisions and a clear football identity are desperately needed if Liverpool want to return to competing at the very top again. So, Liverpool fans, do you think Richard Hughes deserves more time, or has his first season already been a disaster at Anfield?
Liverpool's €100 million Yan Diomande transfer chase moves towards endgame. Liverpool's search for the next superstar winger could finally be reaching a decisive stage, and one name is now generating massive excitement behind the scenes at Anfield: Yan Diomande. The highly rated RB Leipzig talent has emerged as one of the most talked about young attackers in Europe, and Liverpool are reportedly pushing hard to position themselves at the front of the race for his signature. But this deal will not come cheap. Reports suggest Diamande could command a fee close to €100 million, underlining just how highly the 19-year-old is valued across Europe. Liverpool believe the winger has the potential to become one of the next elite attacking stars in world football. And, importantly, the club's interest now appears to be accelerating. Liverpool are preparing for a major summer rebuild under Arne Slot, with attacking reinforcements viewed as a key priority. Questions continue surrounding the long-term future of several forwards, while concerns over squad depth and consistency have become increasingly obvious this season. Diamande is seen as a player capable of transforming Liverpool's attack with pace, directness, and creativity. The RB Leipzig forward has attracted attention because of his explosive style, technical ability, and maturity despite his young age. Scouts across Europe reportedly view him as one of the standout breakthrough talents currently emerging in the Bundesliga system. And naturally, Liverpool are not alone in monitoring the situation. Several elite European clubs are believed to be tracking Diamande closely, which means Liverpool could face intense competition if negotiations move deeper into the summer transfer window. However, Liverpool's recruitment team reportedly view the player as a potential long-term centerpiece for the next generation of the squad. Meanwhile, Fabrizio Romano recently confirmed Liverpool are expected to be very active during the upcoming transfer window, particularly in attacking positions, as the club prepares for significant squad changes this summer. For supporters, this pursuit also represents something bigger. After criticism surrounding Liverpool's recent transfer strategy, fans are desperate to see the club move aggressively for elite young talent again. A signing like Diamande would send a serious message that Liverpool still intend to compete with Europe's biggest clubs in the market. Of course, a €100 million deal always carries enormous pressure, especially for a teenager. Expectations at Liverpool are relentless, and supporters would immediately expect impact if the club spends that level of money. But there is clearly huge belief in Diamande's ceiling.
Now, with the transfer race reportedly entering a crucial phase, Liverpool fans will be watching closely to see whether the club can finally land one of Europe's most exciting young stars. So, Reds fans, would you spend €100 million on Yan Diomande, or is Liverpool taking too big a risk on potential?
He's better than Wharton. Liverpool start talks to sign £70 million superstar. Liverpool's summer rebuild is already beginning to take shape, and one exciting new name is now strongly linked with a move to Anfield: Matheus Fernandez. The Southampton midfielder has reportedly emerged as a serious transfer target for Liverpool, with talks believed to have started as Arne Slot looks to strengthen his midfield before next season. And some scouts are making a massive claim about the Portuguese talent. According to reports, Fernandez is viewed by certain talent analysts as a player who could eventually become even better than Adam Wharton, one of the Premier League's highest-rated young midfielders right now. That praise comes after Fernandez impressed with his composure, passing range, work rate, and ability to drive forward under pressure, despite his young age. Liverpool reportedly see him as an ideal fit for Slot's system. After an inconsistent season, the Reds are searching for more control, intensity, and creativity in midfield, areas where Fernandez has shown huge potential. His versatility is another major attraction, with the midfielder capable of playing deeper or further forward when needed. But this will not be a cheap transfer. Southampton are expected to demand around £70 million, and Liverpool could face strong competition from other top clubs monitoring the player closely ahead of the summer window. Meanwhile, Fabrizio Romano has recently reported that Liverpool are expected to be active in the market this summer, particularly in positions Arne Slot wants to strengthen quickly. For many supporters, this transfer would represent a clear statement about Liverpool's future direction. The club appears focused on signing young players with elite long-term potential rather than short-term fixes. Of course, spending £70 million on a rising talent brings pressure immediately, especially at a club like Liverpool where expectations are always enormous. But internally, there is reportedly real belief that Fernandez could develop into a future star at Anfield. So, Liverpool fans, would Matheus Fernandez be the right signing for Liverpool this summer, or should the club target a more experienced midfielder instead?
Liverpool set asking price for Federico Chiesa as summer exit likely. Federico Chiesa's Liverpool future is already hanging in the balance, with reports suggesting the club are prepared to sell the winger this summer if the right offer arrives. The Italian international arrived at Anfield with massive expectations, but injuries and inconsistent performances have prevented him from becoming a regular starter under Arne Slot. Now, Liverpool reportedly believe a summer exit is becoming increasingly likely. According to reports, the Reds have already set an asking price for Chiesa as interest from clubs in Italy continues to grow ahead of the transfer window. At his best, Chiesa was considered one of Europe's most dangerous attacking players during his time at Juventus and with the Italian national team. His pace, direct running, and creativity made him a nightmare for defenders. But things simply have not clicked consistently at Liverpool. Slot's tactical system has limited Chiesa's opportunities, while competition in attacking positions has made it even harder for him to establish himself inside the starting 11. Meanwhile, Fabrizio Romano recently reported that Liverpool are expected to be very active during the upcoming summer transfer window, with both arrivals and departures likely as the club prepares for a major rebuild. For Liverpool, selling Chiesa could also help fund new attacking signings. The club are already exploring several forward options as they look to reshape the squad after a disappointing season. Despite his struggles at Anfield, there is still belief across Europe that Chiesa can rediscover his best form in the right environment. Serie A clubs are reportedly monitoring the situation closely and could move quickly if Liverpool officially make him available. Now, the next few weeks may decide whether Chiesa's Liverpool career ends far earlier than many expected. So, Liverpool fans, should Federico Chiesa be given another chance next season, or is it already the right time for Liverpool to move on? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for all the latest Liverpool news from Anfield Central.